Welcome to She Said Scale, where we do business differently. Less grind, more strategy, and a low-lift revenue model that makes high cash months feel light as a feather. I'm Tristan Jean, your business strategist and social sales expert, and I built a spacious, scalable business that locks in recurring revenue so I don't reset to zero every month. And I did it without launching every 2 weeks, running on empty, creating a mass membership that saps the life out of me, or feeling like my business owns me. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Join me for conversations around the strategies that will simplify your sales, scale your business so that you never reset to zero and you can do it all in part-time hours. If you're ready to ditch the income roller coaster and finally create a business that pays you and gives you your life back, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe, grab your coffee and your comfy couch blanket because you know I have mine, and let's chat, my friend. So if you've ever felt like your content is good, your messaging is good, your offers are amazing, but even on a good day, sales are still just kind of trickling in, then this is the episode that is going to flip the switch. So the reason that this is happening is probably not your messaging. It's probably not your content strategy. It's definitely not your offers. I'm sure they're amazing. The reason it's happening is because there's an absence of a framework, a system, a structure. And I'm not talking a strategy, because strategies are really a dime a dozen, and almost all of them will work. I'm talking about a framework, a structure, a system. And today I'm going to walk you through that exact framework that I use with my clients to stabilize their sales, amplify their income, and build a business that runs like a well-oiled machine. I call it the fully booked framework. So let's talk about it. So here's what I see almost every single time that I work with a founder, with a client who owns a business, who is already in motion. So meaning they have had some sales, they're not starting a business from scratch, but they are stuck in a loop. 1 month it's 3K, then it's 15K, then the next month it's 2K, then it's 12K, then it's 10K, then it's 1K. And then they scramble to make up for that dip. So burning themselves out the next month, trying to generate momentum, trying to figure out what it was that got them to that higher month the month before. That's the income roller coaster. And it is so dangerous, because this is what will make you spiral faster than anything else. Because it's like, now you know it's possible to hit that higher cash month, but then you dip back down and you're like, something is broken. So you're grabbing another strategy, another masterclass. You're thinking about switching mentors, but you're trying to fix the symptom and not the problem. Because strategy doesn't create stability. Mindset is not going to fix your sales problem. You need a structure, a system, an engine, a machine, whatever you want to call it, that attracts attention, turns it into activation, and turns it into acquisition consistently. And if I could, I would drill this into everyone's brain. Attract, acquire, retain. And the reason this is different is because, like I said, most businesses focus on attract, activate, acquire. So can you see the difference? Attract, activate, acquire, or attract, acquire, retain. Because the difference between your roller coaster months and your high sales consistent months is in the retain. And that is what this fully booked framework does. So this isn't a content plan. It's not a funnel template or a visibility hack. This is the complete system that moves your dream buyer through your business in a way that creates consistent leads in your pipeline and clients who stay with you longer. And that is the whole point of your business. We need to be generating consistent leads and turn them into an increased client lifetime value. So let's walk through each of these steps from the trenches of what works. And we're actually going to start with what is broken in most people's business. So most founders come in, they have an offer, they've had some sales, they start with visibility. Their marketing starts with visibility. And starting at visibility already leaves your well-oiled machine broken. You come in thinking, I need to be visible. I need more reach. I need more followers. I need to expand on different platforms. The reason I'm not making sales is because I'm not visible enough. When in reality, you skipped the foundation of your entire marketing plan. So, what's the foundation? Positioning. Positioning has to come before visibility. And this is where people miss the mark. You're creating content that is inspiring or educating or entertaining. Maybe you're getting some engagement on that. Maybe you're getting some sales, but you skipped positioning, which is not about what you say. It's about how what you say makes your audience feel. That part, the positioning, that part, the positioning is what triggers your dream client to see you as the one who gets it, to see you as the one who has solved the exact thing she's struggling with. And when I say positioning, let's be clear, I do not mean authority. I do not mean embodiment. There are several different elements that need to take place inside of positioning that are so much deeper than authority and embodiment. Positioning is where we establish psychological differentiation in your dream client's mind. It's where we establish your core values or your mission. It's where we establish your brand archetype. It's where we establish your narrative positioning, your story arc. It's where we create your message to offer bridge. It's where we create neuro-layered framing of your messaging. It's where we anchor your pricing into psychological cues. And so all of those things are what creates strong positioning. And positioning is the fuel for all the rest of this framework that we're going to go through. So you can't skip that part. All of that has to be crystal clear so that you can move on to visibility, which is where most people start. And the second problem that people have is visibility for the sake of being visible. Visibility is not about traction. It's not this huge net that we cast out. Visibility is actually about precision. So we're showing up strategically and intentionally with content and on platforms to meet our buyer at the exact level of awareness, either problem awareness, symptom awareness, to move them closer to a sale. So a super important foundational concept at the level of visibility is buyer-led growth and buyer psychology. So integrating buyer types into our messaging, using psychological triggers that's mapped to our buyer brain layers to create activation, to create action. This is also the level where our messaging comes into play heavily, and we're implementing high value symptom, high value desire messaging. This is where we create buyer obsession language. So this is the language that we use that makes our buyer feel like, how did she get in my head? How did she know that? This is where we're articulating things that our buyer has never verbalized. And then the next step is conversion. And these don't stop at just a sale. These are literal sales structures that we build into the back end of your business. So this is where we architect an entire ascension plan with your offers that fit the type of business you want to create. So we aren't creating sales just for sales' sake. We're creating sales systems, a sale ecosystem that supports the type of support you want to offer, the level of hands-on you want to have inside your business. So at this level, we're using a lot of limbic-led messaging, creating safety and certainty and emotion around buying our offers. We're using, lay down, I'm almost done. Lay down. No, we're almost done. We're using buyer beliefs to shift resistance. We use narrative sales, so we're selling inside of a story. We implement trust funnels inside of our Instagram. So we have we create trust funnel sequences inside of our social media platforms. So we're speaking to not only the different buyer types, but also the different stages of a buyer's journey, and at the same time appealing to the different layers of the buyer brain decision-making process. We're making sure to create our evergreen revenue systems. We are doing offer recirculation plans, so relaunching what works with better timing, and creating sales pathways for different funnels so that these continuously sell without us constantly having to be on social media 24/7. And then next we move on to scalability. So this is where we remove the roller coaster for good. So we stop selling like solopreneurs or side hustlers, and we start selling like CEOs and business owners. Because a real business is not about one big month. It's about knowing big months are predictable. But before you scale, you have to have all of these other steps built, because we cannot scale chaos. You can only scale structure. Like, you've heard the saying, you don't throw spaghetti at the wall. Can you imagine trying to build something out of spaghetti noodles? Like, you can just keep piling spaghetti noodles on a plate and they'll just like, blah, like just keep like expanding out, out, out. They never go up, right? If you want to scale spaghetti up, you have to have like a pot where it holds everything in place, and then you can like build it up. So you have to have structure in order to scale. So once we get into scalability, here's where we're building out recurring revenue, right? We're building out up that monthly baseline, which allows you to do less to get to higher income months. So if you're starting out every month at 0 and you want to reach 10K, it's really difficult to go from 0 to 10K. But if you're starting every month at 10K, and then we're layering in different sources of predictable revenue, different sources of income, then it gets really easier to go from 10K to 20K. And if you're starting every month out at 20K and you know that that's going to be your baseline for the next 6 to 12 months, it's really easy to scale to 50K. So we get really strategic about leveraging our offers, getting 3 times the mileage out of what's already built, but using it to create different cash pathways. We get really intentional about our 20-hour work week system to make sure that you're not showing up 60, 70, 80 hours a week to sustain higher cash months. We really simplify where we're visible, where are most of our leads and sales coming from. We create easy client recirculation pathways, so ways for them to renew, to upgrade, to reactivate. We make sure that offer maturation is built into our offer flow so that our offers are designed for growth, not graduation. You don't want your clients to leave you. You want your clients to live with you. So if you've been doing everything, which a lot of clients come to me saying, I've been doing everything, but my income is still on a roller coaster. It's still fragile. It's still unstable. It's still unpredictable. It's because you have all of the pieces, but nothing's plugged into the right spot. You haven't been doing things in the right order to create structure that can scale. And this framework is what you've been missing. This framework is the structure. In my world with my clients, this is the foundation of everything. We don't scale noise. We don't scale chaos. We don't scale spaghetti. We scale this structure. And we implement it through my accelerate method, which is rinse and repeat at every level. The fully booked framework and the accelerate method are rinse and repeat at every single level. The questions just get deeper. And that's the beauty of this structure. It's not something new that you have to change every 6 months. You don't have to switch and transform your business into something else to get to the next level. It's taking what's working, so simplifying the structure and amplifying it at every level to get to multiple 6-figure months with your business. And when you install the fully booked framework and implement it using the accelerate method, then that's when you eliminate the roller coaster months. You can stop guessing and then start growing month over month. If you want to go deeper into this, we build this from the ground up inside of my Monetize Momentum Group Mastermind, and we scale it inside of my one-on-one cohort Accelerate. I have it in the show notes if you're interested, or reach out to me on DM for a gap assessment and we can talk about it.
That's it for today's episode of She Said Scale. If you're done with the income roller coaster and ready for a business that actually supports your life, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Want to go deeper? Check the show notes for ways we can do that. And if today's episode